Hey, it's Random Code here, and today in this video I'm going to showcase MaterialFX, which is a Java library that adds some better looking buttons and in general components to JavaFX. And firstly, let's actually just have a look at their GitHub profile, which, as we can see here, MaterialFX is an open source Java library which provides material design components for JavaFX. And I highly encourage, if you enjoy this project, you go to the GitHub profile, which I will leave a link for in the description as a first thing, and take a look at it yourself to learn more about this project. But today I will go through their demo, which is actually very normal for a project of this kind, to have kind of like a demo project where they showcase all their components and a few things about what we can do, how we can change them, just to showcase what's possible with this specific library, MaterialFX. So first of all, we just have some very simple buttons. We have a few different kinds, and I think it's important to understand that some of this is done by just plain MaterialFX, and some of it is actually using the MaterialFX base components and then adding some extra CSS, which we can then find inside this demo project and could use it in our own project if we would like. But we have our flat buttons, just some very normal buttons, and we kind of have this effect when click on them that makes it look a bit more interesting. We have some outline buttons, which seem to be connected in some way. So when I click one of them, the other one is not highlighted anymore. We always have the disabled version of the buttons. Other than our flat buttons, we also have the buttons that are raised. So we have this shadow below them, this dark gray shadow that makes them look like they're kind of raised or maybe even floating. And we have a link button, which is kind of like a mix with our outline button, I think, but it's blue when we have this underline. We then have some checks, radios, and some toggle buttons. Our normal check buttons, they can have a few different icons apparently. Our toggle buttons, and they added this nice feature where we can change the color of our custom button here. See that we could do any color. The disabled versions, the radio buttons, very simple to checkbox. They can be either checked or not, so it's kind of like a true false. And normally we would have more than one radio button, so we kind of like have a group of radio buttons, and we would only be able to click one radio button at a time. And again, this is built upon JavaFX, so it's kind of like all the JavaFX basic components, but changed to be a bit more modern, basically. Toggle buttons with some different icons. We then have some combo boxes, which are kind of like these multiple option buttons. Also have an editable one where we can actually both add some text or pick one of their options. We have this one, which I actually think is new and not a part of basic JavaFX, as far as I remember, which is actually kind of cool, which is like a combination of some kind of filter and a combo box. So let's say we have all these names, and I could then search for, let's just do the Jeffrey, for example. I would then pick him. But adding this kind of search area, so our combo box is actually quite nice, and I'm not sure I've actually ever seen that before, so that's very nice. And we also have a custom version. So of course, using CSS, we can change the colors and probably quite a few things actually. And they have another thing that's actually going to be showcased, quite a few areas. We have these legacy combos, so these legacy buttons, which are more similar to actually plain JavaFX, but actually they remind me actually quite a lot of JFoenix, which is another Java library that adds kinder design to JavaFX, and it actually looks kind of similar to this. But I think MaterialFX, at least to my understanding, is a bit more, at least newer than JFoenix, and seem to be kept updated for the newer version of JavaFX, so that's quite nice. We then have some dialogs, where we have a few different ones, which is quite normal. Info dialog, have a confirm, cancel, and One thing I noticed with this, which I actually think is that everything is kind of locked when opening a dialog box. Normal. But when I then want to minimize, I then minimize the entire project because it's kind of locked between dialog boxes. I think it might be nice to close it or cancel it. And if we did it ourselves, we can change right now. Confirm doesn't do anything, but we can confirm, close it, and then do something specific, or return a value, or whatever. Warnings, kind of change the icons. So info, information icon, warning, error, and just generic, just some text. Now let's have a look at some fields. So we actually have quite a few. Inline mode, border mode. So where we kind of putting this field information, which is actually quite nice. Because it's actually not optimal only having explanation of what the field should contain inside the field, and then when you add the information, normally this descriptor of a field would disappear, but actually having these different positions where they just moved a bit with a quite nice transition is actually very useful and should be used always. You should never have an empty input field or text field where when you click on them, you would lose, kind of like this one. We're having something like this where we just have some floating text, or no floating text at this point, and then so we'd, for example, have here told that it was input for a name, for example. When the input a name disappears, then you should always add some text above to describe the input field. So I actually think these are quite nice because they're kind of like a mix. We're not needing some extra text above, but it's kind of incorporated. I think that's actually very, very nice. They're very cool. Have above, of course, more or less just normal text field. Of course, we can change them in any way we want, with colors and anything that can be disabled. And we also have this kind of, I can't remember if they call it password fields in JavaFX, but where we can kind of hide text. And this is definitely next level where we already have a button allowing to like showcase what's actually being written, or we can hide it. So I've built quite a few of these manually. JavaFX, we just add a button and have some text be showcased or changed or whatever, but this is actually already a part of FX, which seems quite nice, at least to some degree. I'm not sure how much CSS is used on these to make them work, but you could have a look in the demo and figure it out, but I think these are quite nice. And of course, it's more or less the same. We also have some extra features. Oh, so these are not animated. Well, that's actually cool, because these are kind of like animated for the text to go up and down, and these are just kind of jumping. And oh, nice validation setup. I like this. So let's have a look at some lists. And these are also definitely quite nice. Definitely way more modern than just the plain JavaFX ones. List, we can pick one of the options, and I would be able to add a button and then get the information on whatever was picked, assuming it's still very similar to basic JavaFX. Again, they can be customized to be more interesting. You can have a checklist inside a list. That's quite nice. And again, a legacy, which is kind of like a closer version to the base JavaFX, but still a bit different. It might be MaterialFX legacy, I'm actually not quite sure, but it's quite nice that we have these different versions. And they can be changed from 2D to 3D, which is more or less just adding a highlight behind. Kind of nice, but not too complex. And of course, we can change anything regarding colors. Let's have a look at some notifications. So notifications are kind of similar to dialogs, but they would be these kind of like external things. So as you can see here, these are quite different. I actually think this might be lacking in the demo. I'm not sure they're even closable. Okay, so this you probably need to add manually. But as you can see, we have quite a few different notifications, and they look a bit crazy. I don't know exactly what's going on here, but if you want to use any of these, definitely have a look at it yourself. Restart, close all those notifications. And let's then have a look at some pickers, which are normally used for dates. So we can simply have this, which is actually very nice. And I know specifically in JPhonix, one of the main annoyances regarding JPhonix is that their pickers seem to be broken in the newer versions. So having this picker, which is actually quite nice, a bit more minimalistic, is very good. Of course, again, you can change anything regarding color and setup. Disabled. Let's have a look at the progress bars and progress spinners, which are nice as well. Have some of them that are very similar and very normal, just some progressing. I would assume a lot of CSS is used here to make them look a bit more interesting. This one is actually very interesting. Kinda showcasing percentage and it's growing, and yeah. Quite simple, very nice. We would often use them, for example, when we're loading something, creating a new thread, showcasing this one, waiting for everything else to load. When everything's loaded, we remove them. So at least just the plain default ones, the spinning ones. But they're quite nice, and I think they're nice to have. Let's have a look at some scroll panes. Very simple, just some text fields where we can now actually scroll. Scroll look good. We can scroll both horizontal and vertical. Over here, nice. We can change the colors of something. Or not, these buttons not doing much, but these scroll panes actually look quite nice. So I definitely like having basic scroll panes. We then have a bunch of sliders, which I also think is very nice. And some of these sliders actually look very good. I have a default one, showcasing the number, and some animations. Everything loading in and out. It's quite nice. Doing in both direction, plus minus. Of course, do a bunch of crazy things regarding color. Having intervals can also be very useful. Feels pretty good. Decimals, labeled, vertical as well. All is the same. So very nice, some basic sliders. We then have some steppers, which I think is very interesting. I'm not sure exactly how much of this is actually built in, and it's actually, or if it's actually just a bunch of other things combined. But I know I need to add a username. It needs to have a certain length. Go next. Password must be longer. Add some random letters. First name, last name, gender. Get all the information. I can confirm it. It's completed. So I'm not sure exactly how much stuff is going on here, but it's actually quite nice. And we then have some tables, which I know is used quite a bit when we're doing some kind of JavaFX stuff, because we're usually having some kind of data, manipulating it, showcasing it. And one thing that's actually very nice about the tables in MaterialFX is that we have a pre-built filter. So we can already, in this case, we have a name, surname, and age. And then filter based on any category. And then let's do name. Oh, that's actually quite a lot of filtering. So we can do contains, contains ignore case, contains any, contains all. So actually just probably using quite a few as the search things we would do in Java. So contains, I would do D. Then we have this active filter. Should we do it like this? And now we only see anything that contains a name with D. But like I said, it's actually very nice. And we can also have our tables on multiple pages. Well, I'd assume this one should be scrolling, probably, if we added more information. Yeah, it is. And as you just saw, we can remove the filter. So, very nice. And then last but not least, we have a bunch of MaterialFX font resources, which looks very similar to Font Awesome. I'm not actually sure if it is. is Font Awesome or just inspired by Font Awesome, but it seems very similar. But that is, it's probably their own, because they call like MFX, calendar, alt dark. And some of the things I've seen, they just like use these icons and just use these descriptions to define them. So very nice. So just one thing I wanted to showcase. So if you want to use some of this stuff yourself, I highly encourage going to the GitHub, link in the description as well, and then go download this stuff. And let's say, for example, we want to have a look at some of the dialogues. I would then see, this is the dialogue. I would then find the controller matching the dialogues. I can now see all the code that is needed for this area over here. So it's not the control of everything, it's just over here. And I'm then also able to find inside resources and fxml. I could then also find the dialog fxml. We could have a look at the fxml. Or I could open it, for example, inside Scene Builder, where here we can see the dialogues. Of course, this is a grid pane with a stack pane. Often we need a stack pane because our dialogues are kind of like opening in on top of each other, so having a stack pane containing everything is very normal when working with any kind of dialogues. But we then just simply have some buttons with some on-action calls. In this case, this button would call open info. We can then see inside our controller, we have this open info method, which then gets an icon, as the icons we just looked at. So they are these MFX font icon, and we get them based on the icon description. We then set some header icon for our dialog, add some text, set it to a dialog based on a style class, so change a bit how they look using them CSS themes, and we then just simply show our dialog. And this dialog are built from, for example, in this case, MFX generic dialog and MFX stage dialog. So it seems kind of like we have the dialog and then the content of the dialog, and then they are building first of all kind of like we're kind of setting up some information for our dialog, for example. And I hope you understand this process of, in this case, for example, wanting to use dialogs, then look at the controller, look at the fxml, maybe even look at the CSS. So I hope you truly understand this process of we would download the project, look through the project, find whatever we need to use, then see how they're doing it, and then use, not copy, but try to understand what they're doing, and then use this concept of how they're building their stuff using FX or MaterialFX, and use it in your own project. So I hope you enjoyed this demonstration, maybe like walkthrough of all the basic components in MaterialFX. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and I wish you all a wonderful day.